Hello, Sunny Bonani, Daxe, how's it? Shop, shop. I'm Aggrey Lonake. This is Thierry Cassuto. This is ZANEWS. Let's get it on.
Once we have the voices, obviously the voices need to have bodies and faces. And this is where our workshop is busy all the time. Sculptors will have a go at the characters based on Jonathan's drawings.
Yes.
Most of the time they will be as a pure drawing, and they look at the drawing and try to translate from what is on the paper to a three-dimensional view that can eventually become a real character.
I tend to look at the character that I'm doing, at photographs of him, and try to get a general impression of the silhouette that he gives me. If he's a really round character, I might start with just making a ball. If he's got a big nose, I'll give him a really enormous nose to start with, so that I start getting a cartoon silhouette. We don't want to be kind to the person. We want the public to laugh when they see the face. Still being able to sort of have all the detail that a portrait would have, but it'll be funny just because it is so pushed. I'm still looking for something funnier about it. Not sure whether I can give him a bigger nose. I think we're still being too kind to Gareth here, don't you? Well, one of the most distinctive things about Gareth's face is his smile. He's slightly to one side. He's got a kind of all-knowing expression a lot of the time. But I think I'm getting somewhere with Gareth here. I think he will be quite funny when we're finished.
We're here in the studio where we shoot the show, but right next door, there's the puppet factory.
Yes, amazing.
Geppetto's workshop,
Amazing.
where they make the puppets all the time.
Firstly, a sculpt gets made and then we make a mold of it. The purpose of a mold is simply to get the proportions of the entire sculpture, the eyes, such as the eyes, the nose, mouth, ears, skin texture, and all the proportions of everything. The next stage is to build the inner core. Pretty much the inner core is to get the inside shape. The next stage after the inner core is the casting process. We cast our puppets out of foam latex, which consists of a number of ingredients. Once everything's mixed, we'll take our batch over to the desk, our desk over here, where we'll be casting. We've got to work really, really quickly before the batch sets. We've only got about 10 minutes to paint everything in all three pieces and then to join everything together before it sets. If it sets before the time, the cast will then be a flop. When everything's gelled, we then take it to the oven to cook for 5 hours. So when it comes out the oven, we need to wash the puppet 6 times, just with plain water. And on the 7th wash, we'll add a little bit of citric acid and then rinse it 2 more times after that. We seam fill to cover the seam lines. Once that is completed, it then moves on to the airbrushing process. We mix like 2 drops of alcohol paints into the airbrush, and then we fill it to the top with alcohol, clean alcohol. And then we'll mix it in the airbrush and then apply it to the surface of the puppet. So the next step after airbrushing would be hair punching. Taking a bunch of hair and then punching with a punching needle into the head like this. So that's pretty much the process of how we make our puppets at ZANEWS. Once the puppet is completed, it then gets sent off to have its eye mechanisms fitted, and then shooting can begin.